Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to give my quick take on medieval. So let me just give you the quick synopsis, and this comes from AMC. Inspired by the true story of Jan Shishka, at least that's how they pronounce it in the movie, like shish kebab, one of the greatest warriors in history, after the death of its reigning emperor, the Holy Roman Empire is plummeting into chaos while feuding brothers King when Cheslas of Czech and King Sigismund of Hungary battle for control of the empty throne. Daring and righteous mercenary leader Jan Shishka is hired by Lord Boris to kidnap the powerful Lord Rosenberg's fiancée, Lady Catherine. To prevent Rosenberg's rise to power alongside the corrupt King Sigismund, Jan believes that kings are the right hand of God and should be respected and obeyed no matter what. As Catherine becomes caught in a dangerous political game between the monarchs, Jan falls in love with her strong spirit and dedication to saving the people. In a brave attempt to liberate her, he fights back with a rebel army to battle the corruption, greed, and betrayal rampant among those clawing for power. Jan now realizes that the fate of the empire will be decided by his love for Lady Catherine and that his fate doesn't lie in the hands of kings, but in the hands of his own people. So, reading that, when you read that, it makes sense. It makes total sense how you would write the story, right? How the story would go. But the way it was presented to us, it was confusing. So for me, I didn't enjoy this film because it was confusing. There's so much back and forth of betrayal constantly between everyone that this movie was too incoherent. It wasn't told in a very where it made look up there it makes sense, right? The way it's written and the way it's explained, it makes total sense. But like I said, the way it was shown to us didn't make sense. I was throughout the film I was like, wait, what's going on? What's happening here? And I don't know, man. To me, this just movie just didn't work. Even the last part where it says that Dion, falls in love with Catherine, it didn't it didn't work because it didn't give you enough time where it was believable that they would fall in love with each other. It just felt too cliche, too too movie in the sense that they put that in there for the movie, right? And it just when they were gonna kiss, you're like, at least for me, I was like, really, they're gonna kiss right now because he kidnaps her, right? So he kidnaps her, and she's like trying to get away most of the time, and then she falls in love with him. You can kind of get it, but at the same time, it's like, really, really. I don't know, man. There's just so much betrayal. And like even his men betray him because at the end so he kidnaps, like it says up there, right? He's basically he's like a mercenary. He's hired by Lord Boris, Michael King's character, to go and kidnap the fiance of Lord was it Boris? No, sorry. That's Michael Caine. Lord Rosenberg, because he holds a lot of power. He has money and he's getting a lot of power. So uh he so Jan is told to kidnap her in order for Lord Rosenberg to fall into line, right? So the whole plot of the movie is for King Wenceslas to travel to Rome in order for the Pope in Rome to declare him the true leader or the emperor or whatever of Europe. Because at that moment there are two popes, one in Rome and one in France. And so the the thinking is, okay, let's take King Wenceslaus and go to Rome, and then he can be crowned the true king, the true emperor of Europe. That way, he can bring everything together and take Europe out of this chaos that they're currently on. Right? There's a like they said in the beginning of the film. There's what's that word? Famine, fathom events. Yeah, there's movies back then, but there's famine. There's a lot of civil war. There's a lot of chaos happening. And so that's like the main thing that Boris, Michael Caine's character, is trying to do, is trying to unite the empire, the European empire. That way we can kind of control this chaos that's happening. But the way everything unfolds is just too, it's chaotic in its own self, right? And it's too many betrayals where 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 Lord Rosenberg is betraying everybody, and then they still accept him, and it's crazy. And then the other thing is the fiance, Lady Catherine. So she's actually, not only is she the fiance of Rosenberg, but she's the niece of the King of France. So that's another aspect in the movie. And so then at the end, when Jan, Ben Foster's character, he sees that what he's doing is causing a lot of death, and it's causing death in his own family, where his nephew dies because he kidnaps Catherine. So his nephew dies, and so he's seen all this stuff happening. But like it says up there, he's very I need to listen to whatever my kings say, and he's very regiment about that. Like, okay, these are kings are chosen by God, and so I'm gonna follow that because that's what he learned from his father. But then as he starts seeing what's happening, he starts to realize, okay, no, I can't. This is wrong. So at the end, his plan is to take Catherine back to her uncle in France. But then the army that his people, his army, little army that we see throughout the film, betray him because they're like, no, because they're mercenaries, right? So they're hired for money, and so they're like, no, the going to France is too long, and we can die, so we're gonna take Catherine to Boris, Michael King's character, and King Wenceslas, which was the original plan, right? They were gonna we're going to keep Catherine for to use for them to use against um, um, Rosenberg, because Rosenberg is also trying to collect the debt of King Wenceslas. So there's just so much going on that it's not only is the whole European empire in chaos, but the movie's in chaos because it's just giving you it's so much information, and the way they structured it, it was just too much. It wasn't structured in a way where it was very understandable, very digestible, because I was getting confused. And look, I'm an idiot for sure. I'm a dummy, but damn, this thing was all over the place, and it was hard to follow, honestly. And so I didn't enjoy that, and it made me not enjoy the film. I always enjoy Ben Foster. Uh, so I enjoy him, in every movie, but damn, everything that kept happening was just too crazy, too crazy. So, and at the end, I just didn't enjoy it. I really didn't. Um, the fight scenes were pretty good, actually. The fight scenes, I will say, they were pretty good. There weren't a lot of, uh, uh, visual effects, and there was a lot of, it seemed like a lot of, uh, you know, um, what do you call it? Uh, I don't know the word. I forgot the word that I'm looking for, but it was or practical effects. That's word. There was a lot of practical effects, and I think it was pretty good. And I'm sure they used some. There were some visual effects, like there was a line, and it actually looked pretty good. It wasn't choppy. It wasn't bad. So I will say for that, the practical effects and the VFX were pretty good, actually. So I do give them that. But overall, the movie could have been explained better, and I think it would have been, obviously would have been better. But yeah, it was too chaotic, man. That's the main thing. It was too chaotic and confusing for me, and those were my biggest takeaways. Is like, no, like I said, this makes sense the way it's written there, but the way it's presented just didn't, and that's a shame. So right, so like I said, like I've said before, I want every movie to be good, but unfortunately for me, this just wasn't, and so yeah, I just didn't really enjoy it. And but like I always say, go check it out yourself. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you think something different. Maybe you'll enjoy it more, and maybe it'll make sense to you more. But if it does, that's great. But for me, it didn't. And but yeah, that's it. Well, thank you for checking out the video. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and maybe you leave a comment if you like, and let me know if you liked it. And also check out my other content and see if you like that. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.